I'm Scott Weichel. You're listening to My Kind of Country on MKOCRadio.com. I am a big fan of this lady who is my special guest tonight. I play her songs all the time because I like them, and also we get a whole lot of requests for her music too, so I know that you're liking her music too. And you've heard her so often on our show, and she's been on the show a couple times, and it's always a joy to visit with her. She is back with a brand new single called Singing Rock of Ages that accompanies a new CD she's also just released, and we're going to talk about that and play some of her great music today. This is my friend Judy Bailey. Judy, how are you tonight?
Hi, Scott. How you doing?
Fantastic. Always a pleasure to talk to you. I'm so glad you're on the show tonight.
Well, thank you so much. I always have a great time just sitting and talking like we're in the living room or something, and just talking about just about everything. And it's a good thing to be able to do this again with you, Scott. And I appreciate you.
Well, I appreciate you, and I sure love your music. And I have told people that I have finally figured out my best way I can describe you. You are the female George Jones, as far as I'm concerned.
I've heard that in the past a little bit.
Well, I've become
I don't mind being him. I mean, I tell you, he was one of the greatest there is out there. And when I was little, I listened to George Jones. I loved the way he sang, and I listened to George and Dolly and Loretta when I was young.
Those are good influences, no doubt about it. And it shows in your phrasing and your style. And I've become such a fan of your music, and part of it is from us being able to talk and get to know each other. But the more I listen to your music, the more I love it. And Old Legend has become one of our most requested songs on my shows, and it's.
Oh wow!
I will definitely, without a doubt, say that this song would be in my top 10 favorite songs of all time by any artist, and I mean that from the heart. I love this song.
That's an honor. Thank you so much, Scott. I think God gave me that because before my brother passed, he asked me to write him a song, and I wrote it for him, and in that way you write for one person. And time I got it written and the music sent to him and his wife, he was going to record, and he passed away. And I think every time that is played, I think of him and how quick that song came to me. It's like an urgency to write it for him. And I think all things happen for a reason.
Absolutely. I think most songwriters that I've talked to will tell you that the really good songs come fast. And I truly think that that's God, putting the words through the pen and saying this is what you need to do.
You're right. And you're right. And most of the time, I started writing when I was about 10. But most of the stuff that I've written way back in the past, Singing Rock of Ages, I wrote that when I was 19. It was quick. But I do believe God, has the first say in all of our songs, when it comes that way. Because I was a staff writer at the Welt Music Group for about 2 years in Nashville. And it was so hard for me to just sit in those rooms and just write a song. Mm-hmm. But boy, when the Lord gives you one, it's quick, just like you said.
Amen to that. Well, Singing Rock of Ages has just been released as a single on Canyon Creek Records, and of course we're going to play that tonight. And you mentioned that you wrote this song a long time ago, and you just now recorded it. Tell me the story of this song.
Oh, the story of that song. I mean, all of my songs, like when I was with CBS and Warner's, I was cutting a lot of other people's songs, which were great songs, and my songs were kind of just laid aside, but I always knew that one day I'd get to do it. And Singing Rock of Ages, like I said, I was 19 years old. My parents had moved us from Kentucky when I was about 15. And the music really happened for me a lot down in Florida, where they moved us. And I always wondered how we moved to Florida because my parents never owned a car or knew how to drive one. So I knew that my brother-in-laws and all of them had moved us down there. But music happened for me back there, and I was writing a lot in Florida. They moved us to a little place called Trilby, Florida, a little Indian town, little Trilby with Crew Macoochie. in Lacoochee, and just places like that. That's where my career really, really started taking off. I was busy in the clubs, and I was the house band for Doyland Country Nightclub in St. Petersburg, Florida. And I got to front a lot of people like Hank Williams Jr., Narvel Phelps, and stuff like that. Back in those days.
Mm-hmm.
And Singing Rock of Ages came from my writing back when I was like 19. And so that song has a long history, and I never thought I would ever get to get to record it. And I'm just so happy that the Lord opened the doors up to where I could do it.
Well, it's a beautiful song, and I'm anxious for my listeners to hear it tonight. And that's the title song of a new CD that you've released. And you've got 6 songs on here, including, of course, Old Legend and Family Fortune, which we've played on the show. And you've got some beautiful gospel songs on here that we play on our Sunday gospel show as well. Your Will, Down on Your Knees, and 10 Shiny Pennies. I love the story of that one.
Oh, yeah, that was a long story from being raised in Kentucky. Not having another penny. Back when candy was a penny a piece. And I think I wanted one more penny because me and my little brother was the only 2 left out of 12 kids, and we were at home. And I asked my mom for another penny because I had 1 penny. And she said, "I don't have one." So I walked on that old country road and I prayed. And I found 10 brand new shiny pennies on the side of the road.
Wow.
And that's how I wrote that one.
That's really great. I wish we could get back to those times again. Everything's so crazy nowadays, and things are so expensive, and people just don't, you don't, anymore you see a penny, nobody picks them up anymore, because they really aren't worth anything. But back in the day, they could, that could be an impact.
Exactly. And the way we was raised, there's a lot of kids, and that penny was priceless to me. Finding those 10 shiny pennies, it was like I found a pot of gold or something. And back then, things were a lot cheaper, of course, but I never will forget that day that I, found that little pile of pennies, and I'm like you. To go back and live those days again would be priceless. I would love to do that.
Well, I think maybe this song is a reminder of what's really, what our values really should be and what's really important in life. I think we forget about that in our fast-paced lives that we live now, and I think that song is a real good reminder of that.
Yeah. Thank you, Scott, for playing it on the show.
Well, always. Your music will always have a home on my show. I can guarantee you that. As long as I'm on the air, I'll be playing Judy Bailey music. There's no doubt about it.
Well, thank you, Scott. I'm in the process of writing 3 or 4 more songs to complete that 10-song CD. And one of the perks about being poor is you have a chance, to really think about what you want to put on your CD. But I got a big surprise for the radio personalities. You sparked it for me, you and another guy and another radio personality in Lafayette, Louisiana, Cammy Doucette. I can't really say that because it's French, but he's on 960 AM, and I don't know, y'all just sparked another song for the last 4 of the CD.
Wow. Well, now you've got my interest piqued. I can't wait to hear it. Well,
it's gonna be a godsend again.
Oh, I can't wait. I really think by doing these recordings the way you're doing them, Judy, you're taking your time, and for whatever the reason is, that I think it's really better that you're taking your time, and each one of these songs are standalone songs. There's no, when you do an album, a lot of times there's just kind of filler stuff that you put in there, and that's not the case here. Every one of these songs it just shines and stands out on its own, and I think the way you're doing it, I think is great.
Well, thank you, Scott. And they're like, some of them are like 2 of them are from years ago. Like I said, when I was 19, the Family Fortune and the Singing Rock of Ages. And the old legend, like I said, came quick, and Down on Your Knees, 10 Shiny Pennies, and Your Will that's on there. God gave me all of those because that was the start of the 10-song CD, The Three Gospels.
Well, that's wonderful. Folks, I want to let you know that you can get Judy's CD. You can email her at rockabaileymusic@gmail.com. We will have that information on our Facebook page. And I know Judy would love to hear from you, too. And let her know what you think of her songs. And you're going to hear them a lot and already are on our station. But get in touch with her and get her music and stay in touch because I always look forward to any time you have new music out.
Well, thank you, Scott. I appreciate you so much.
Well, you recorded all these in Nashville. Tell me a little bit about the session and who you used on these sessions.
Oh, that's a great question. I'm glad you asked that. It's an old-time friend of mine, Kenny Royster, at Direct Image Studio. He is just top-notch. I have known him for 20-something years. When he started out in a little studio in the West Tower building there off of West End, and he had a real small studio, and now he has a huge studio, and he uses top quality musicians. And matter of fact, on the 10 Shiny Pennies, when we did that one, I forgot the guy's name, but he came in. I wanted a sax in that, for the Louisiana sound, and the guy that walked in that did the sax just got off the road with Willie Nelson.
Oh, wow.
So, he has a great place there, and it's Kenny Royster at Direct Image Studio. I use him every time I come into town.
Well, that's great. That's great. Well, you got some beautiful pickers and some beautiful singers on these songs, too.
Mm-hmm. And the girl that did the backup, she, and I forgot her name. Tanya is her first name, but she came in there and did most of the backup, and she was, I think, Alan Jackson. She did all his backup gospel songs for him.
Wow. Oh, cool. Yeah, that's
So
really
he
great.
uses great people there. So I just feel relaxed there. I can go in there, and it's a great place. But I know there's another great place that I really like to look at too. Out there in Music Valley Drive.
There is Nashville Music Valley Recording Studio, and it's
Oh, yes.
yeah, absolutely the best people there. Barry Wayne and LaDonna Capps and Arnold Connolly,
Mm-hmm.
and I did some recording there several years ago when Gene Breeden still owned that studio, and well, it's a great atmosphere. You just walk in there and you just feel like you're at home,
Yes, and I talked to Arnold. I don't know how to say his last name, Connolly.
Connolly, yep.
Connolly, and he played some of the stuff there, and it was absolutely top notch to me.
It is. They do a great job there, and Arnold has recorded some great music. He's a big fan of yours too, and he's a big supporter of my kind of country, and he's always posting the songs when we play them, and I appreciate that, and I know he really likes your music.
Well, I do too, and I tell you, I love his music too. But I love people like that who really are sincere from the heart and really back you in that way and support you. And they're priceless. He's a priceless person, and I got to know him on the internet, and he's a genuine person.
He is. I had a chance to meet him last spring, and I actually went in and did some harmony vocals on a song that he recorded. And he's just such a genuinely nice guy. And he's become a friend, and that's the best thing in the whole music business is the people you get to meet and get to know and become friends with.
Exactly, and I love the way he supports your station because you have one great station there, and I have a lot of great compliments on your interviews with people. They love being interviewed by you.
Well, it's the feeling is mutual. It's an honor for me to sit and talk with people one-on-one, and like you said in the beginning of the interview, it's just you just end up having a conversation, and I think that's the best way to do it.
That's exactly right.
Hey, I wanted to ask you on the back of your CD, you've got some photographs, and there's a picture of an old house there. Tell me about those pictures.
You're reading my mind again, Scott. You're very in tune. I'm telling you, that's the ways of God. I'm telling you.
Amen.
Yes, it is. And that old house, I'm so glad that was the house I was raised in on 242 Mutual Avenue, Winchester, Kentucky, right down there in Hungry Hollow. And they tore that old place down, or it burnt down or something years ago, but that's the picture there where I was raised. And a lot of the music happened there, a lot of it in Florida, but I did a lot of the it was like gospel when I was a small child. I used to sing on a pastor's radio show. Her name was Emma Rose, and she had a radio station, and I used to sing When They Ring Those Golden Bells for You and Me. And that little house, every time I think of it, I think about all of us getting on the front porch and singing those gospel songs, and they put a guitar, on it in the back, and it first started out, to put a picture of me, and I said, no, my whole family sings, and so the guitar kind of symbolizes on the old house of the family and all the family singing.
Oh, that's great. I love it. That's what I like to hear. I like to hear the stories behind all this stuff, and that's what makes the music so real, and it gives it a personal connection.
It does, and I really like that they could capture that old picture, because sometimes they can't use the old ones that I sent, so I just sent them a bunch of them, and for some reason that ended up on there, and I hoped it would.
I like the way that they did it, and then the picture of you on the front too. It looks, they made it look like an old photograph that you're sitting on your front porch, and you told me you were sitting on the porch before we started talking today, so I can picture where you were sitting by looking at this cover right now.
I tell you what, that front porch there was captured. I have my friends that own the Jim Oliver Smokehouse there in Monteagle, Tennessee, and it's always been my home away from home. When I come to Nashville, I stop there first, and my best friend, she's one of the owners, is Betsy Oliver, and I'd come down there, and they would give me a cabin, and that was one of the cabins right there that on the front cover of that CD.
Oh, that's great. That's a great picture. I love it. Well, folks, you can get this CD, rockabaileymusic@gmail.com. We'll put that information on our Facebook page, and we're talking with Judy Bailey today. And Judy, what's coming up for you this year as far as promotions and touring and that kind of thing?
Okay, I'm just kind of letting the Lord, I'm at a point in my life to where I don't run the roads like I used to, but I will. This CD, when it comes out, Tommy Smith had told me they were going to bring me down in Texas for some stuff down in Tyler, Texas, and I'm going to be doing that, and mostly just kind of working the CD and getting out and about a little bit this year, and doing a lot of promotion and stuff.
Well, that's great. Well, keep us in touch and let us know where you're going to be, and we'll make sure to get that out to our listeners too.
I sure will, and I appreciate you, Scott.
Well, I appreciate you too. And CanyonCreekRecords.com also has their website, and you can check out some of their other great music. And they are releasing this new single, Singing Rock of Ages, that we're going to play here in just a minute. And Judy, I understand you have been in touch with Mo Bandy too, and you guys are going to be working on some stuff too.
Oh yes, I did an interview the other day with a guy named Don Caldwell. And I was telling him how that you had connected me and Mo Bandy, and many people, down in Nashville, he was trying to get my number, and so I was telling him about the story about how you connected us, online with each other. I was trying to call him, and he was already calling me on the other end. So, yeah, we have been talking, and off and on. He told me that that he'd already done his album, that maybe we could do another duet in the future. And so I'm looking forward to something
Oh,
like that because he's a pleasure to be around.
he sure is. He's such a nice guy. He was so excited about that. We saw him shortly after you and I had talked the last time, and he was so excited that you guys had got in touch together. And then as I was reading through his book, there's a story about you in there, and
Uh-huh.
he's got some pictures, and he thinks a lot of you. You
Uh-huh.
guys sang so great together too, and I'm so glad to hear that you have reconnected again. That's really cool.
And thanks to you, Scott, we did. And through the hustle and bustle in town and everything, several people had said, Mo was looking for your number, but I didn't have it or something like that. But it, to me, if it's going to happen, God's going to have it happen, and it did. And I'll always thank you for that because Mo and me are like a brother and sister. He's like a big brother to me, and he always has been, and what a great singer he is. And I love his book. I just love his book. He sent me a copy and signed it, and that was the biggest thing that's happened to me in a while.
I do too, and Scott England that helped write the book with him. He's written so many other great ones. He's done one with Ronnie McDowell. And he's done just a one with Jimmy Capps, and
Oh, yeah.
there's such great reads, and they've got so many great pictures in them, and I really like the style of the book. It's just it's very hard to put them down.
Oh, yeah. And with Scott England, I met him through the book and online and everything too. But I tell you that book is just class. I mean, everything about it is class. The way it's structured. I mean, I wouldn't know how to write a book, but I just think that if I did write a book, that would be the way I would go because. And Mo's got so many good stories in there too. I mean, he tells it like it is, and tells you some of the road stories and stuff. And I really couldn't put that book down, and it's hard, like I said, to keep my attention.
Yeah, it's all of the books that he's been involved with have been like that, and the Jimmy Capps one, I just could not put the thing down, but I like that. It's very entertaining. It moves along quickly, and it doesn't bog down with a whole lot of intimate details, and it's just a really interesting read. It's very engaging, and I'm so glad that he's preserving the stories and the music like that.
Oh yes, and Jimmy Capps is another hero, and I'm telling you, I'm probably going to get that book and read it because, I'm going to buy anything that Scott England, that he puts out because Jimmy Capps, what a great subject anyway, right?
Oh man, I had him on the show a few weeks ago, and I mean, what a nice guy, and he's so many great stories, and he's just such a genuinely nice man, and I don't think he has any idea of how big he really is.
I like people like that.
I do too. Yeah,
Another one that
I do
I
too.
met in town that was my buddy for a long time. I met him at the Welt Music Group. Another humble person like that don't ever, he don't think he's ever been anywhere is Dickie Lee, and he's been my buddy for years.
Oh gosh, yeah. I mean, he's written some of the best songs in country music. She Thinks I Still Care, and oh man,
Yeah.
I mean, he's another one. Just there's so many
He's
great
my
ones out there.
he's my friend, and I remember, when I was raising my daughter in Nashville by myself, I always had to work plus do the music, and Dickie Lee made it possible. I was crying one time. I was at the Welt Music Group, and he come up to me, and I was wanting to go see my mom, and it was Christmas, and I couldn't go because I just didn't have the means to go. And I remember, he gave me a credit card, and he said, "Go see your mama."
Oh wow.
I'll never forget that ever.
Wow. Now that's a friend. That's a friend.
Just a really good friend. Him and Freddie Weller both.
There's so many great people in country music, and I've been blessed to get to meet and know so many of them. And you mentioned earlier about people making connections for other people, and I cannot say finish this interview without thanking Margie Singleton because she is responsible for you and I getting in touch, and I feel that
Yes.
we've developed a friendship, and I'm just so glad that we have this time to visit together, and we've gotten to know each other, and I get to play your music, and that all is thanks to
Oh,
Margie. She's another lady
I'm
I
so
think the
glad
world of her.
too. Margie's another good one. I'm telling you, we we did a little senior sisters tour. That's what we call it, senior sisters tour. I picked her up in Shreveport. Me and her almost caused a hurricane. We stopped at a hotel, and the hurricane came right there. It wasn't a hurricane; it was looked like a tornado or something.
Gee whiz.
And her and me was stuck in the hotel, scared half to death. That was our senior sisters tour.
Man. Well, we met her last year at the NACMA show, and we went to Nashville and spent some time with her. And she just latched right on to my daughter and my wife and I, and she's just made us a member of her music family. And I cannot say enough good things about her. I love her and think the world of her. And I know she'll be listening. She listens to the show all the time, and it's so funny when she's listening, because she'll send me a message and she'll say, you got to play this one and play this one, And I said, well, Margie's just going to take over the show tonight. I'm okay with that,
That's good. That's good. She loves you, Scott, and she's got many people that love her in Nashville, and she can't be loved enough,
And she deserves it, and I'm so glad that she's getting the recognition she deserves, and she is still a very active and vibrant artist, and she's writing great music and performing, and I'm so glad.
Oh, yes, me too, and she's doing a great job, too. I mean, to me, I used to be afraid, hey, I'm probably going to, in my 70s, quit, but no, I'm not, Margie gives everybody hope,
Absolutely. You never retire from things that you love,
That's exactly right.
Absolutely. Well, I want to get to some music from you, Judy, and we're going to play that new single, Singing Rock of Ages, and we're going to play Old Legend, and we're going to play a couple of the tunes with you and Mo Bandy as well. And I want to thank you, as always, for being on the show. Thank you for your support, and you're welcome anytime, and certainly wish you the best, and God bless you so much.
And thank you, Scott, and it's always a pleasure. Thank you, buddy.
All right. That is Judy Bailey on My Kind of Country, the brand new single from King and Creek Records, Singing Rock of Ages. You can also get that new album called Singing Rock of Ages by going to rockabailymusic@gmail.com and get in touch with Judy and let us know what you think of these beautiful songs. We're going to play them for you right now as we continue with My Kind of Country right here on mkocradio.com. Judy, thank you again.
Thank you, Scott.
While singing Rock of Ages on our front porch late one night, Mom and Dad looked at each other, just knowing they sure raised us right. Every Saturday night by that old coal old line, we would gather around, 'cause singing Rock of Ages was our family's night on the town. Singing Rock of Ages, old memories come to mind. We would play the guitar and sing from the heart. Oh, we sure had a good time. We kids knew deep down in our hearts we had the best. Mom and Dad, and those days of singing Rock of Ages was the best days I ever had. Back then, times were so hard, and there were things we couldn't afford. But faith and love got us through. After just a little talk with the Lord, then the family would lift up their voice. Oh, I still hear those harmonies as we were singing Rock of Ages clapped for me. Singing Rock of Ages, old memories come to mind. We would play the guitar and sing from the heart. Oh, we sure had a good time. We kids knew deep down in our hearts we had the best mom and dad. And those days of singing Rock of Ages was the best days I ever had. Rock of Ages, Rock of Ages, clap for me. Their daddy sits in his old rocking chair. Though the picture has faded, I can still see it clear. And this one of him and Mama, you could see in their eyes that love was the treasure they left behind. Our family fortune of gold memories, where true love replaces all those big shiny things. We have all the riches that money can't buy. With family fortune and our treasures on high. We could never afford much, but love got us through. 'Cause each hug from Mama was like something brand new. Now each day I give thanks for my happy home, and hope and pray our loved ones will still carry on. Our family fortune of gold memories, where true love replaces all those big shiny things. We have all the riches that money can't buy. With family fortune and our treasures on high. Family fortune with our Jesus on high. Some people live for riches below. They say diamonds are forever, but one day they will know that all of our treasures are stored up on high. It's not what we take with us, but what we leave behind. And we'll walk down the streets of gold forever, hand in hand with Jesus, our Savior, and loved ones together in that mansion on the hill. Lord, keep us in your will. Your will be done. Oh, I pray every day, though I may not understand, I still want it your way. Surround us with your love when we're led astray, till we're all finally home by your sweet, amazing grace. And we'll walk down the streets of gold forever, hand in hand with Jesus, our Savior, and loved ones together in that mansion on the hill. Lord, keep us in your will. And we'll walk down the streets of gold forever, hand in hand with Jesus, our Savior, and loved ones together in that mansion on the hill. Lord, keep us in your will. Lord, keep us in your will. Thy kingdom come, your will be done. Walking down to the country store, clutching a penny, wishing for one more, to buy me and baby brother a candy cane. So I looked to the sky and raised my hands to pray. And over on the side of the road, there was something shining just like gold. There was 10 shiny pennies, 10 shiny pennies. So be careful when you pray for just one penny. The blessings will fall and you'll have many. 10 shiny pennies, oh, 10 shiny pennies. Still believe and I still pray, 'cause miracles can happen if you just have faith. Trust in God's amazing love, even when times get a little tough. You can still be happy, soon you will find. If you have $1 million or just a dime, you still have 10 shiny pennies, 10 shiny pennies. So be careful through the tears and the smiles. But sometimes in my life I put my trust in man below. But I'm finding my way back to you because I love you so. I bow my head and lift my hands in praise. So many wrong turns I have made, you were there for me always. I climb and climb, and then I fall. Now I've come to believe that it's so hard to stumble when you're down on your knees. There's been times I forgot to remember I should pray, and you were there just waiting to take my sins away. Now tonight at the altar call, the truth has set me free, and it's so hard to stumble when you're down on your knees. I bow my head and lift my hands in praise. So many wrong turns I have made, you were there for me always. I climb and climb, and then I fall. Now I've come to believe that it's so hard to stumble when you're down on your knees. I bow my head and lift my hands in praise. So many wrong turns I have made, you were there for me always. I climb and climb, and then I fall. But I ask and receive by the blood you shed for me, and it's so hard to stumble when you're down on your knees. Oh, it's so hard to stumble when you're down on your knees. He's been singing country music since 1965. There's not a honky tonk he hasn't played at least 100 times. Now the oldies are still the goodies, like he stopped loving her today, and George still lived inside his heart each time he'd hit the stage. Now some say this old legend may go down in history. Others call him a superstar, but he'd tell them I'm just me. But there's one thing that I know for sure, as he walked another mile, this old legend just kept rocking on as long as he could bring a smile. Could he tell them I'm just me? But there's one thing that I know for sure. As he walked another mile, this old legend just kept rocking on, as long as he could bring a smile. This old legend just kept rocking on till he walked